you for a lifetime underneath the moonlight. Cause I don't want us to go. No, I don't want us to go. Yeah, you could be my lifeline, you could be my sunshine. In a world so full of pain, can you make it go away? Used to be so sad that love was lost, but now it's here to stay. Yeah, I used to be uncomfortable, but look at me today. Never thought I'd find someone like you, someone to show the way. But now I know you're the answer to my prayer. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I'm sorry for the burden, sorry I was hurting, but my scars are almost healed. Yeah, my scars are almost healed. Yeah, I'm feeling like a child now. Everything's alright now, and it's all because of you. You made the flower in me bloom. Used to be afraid of everything, but now there's no more fear. Yeah, I used to let nobody in and hide my face with tears. Always thought of you as someone who can love someone like me, but I was wrong. Baby, now I believe. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough of us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. You and me must be right. Something's in the air, I can feel it now. You and me must do something right. We can't get enough
Hey,
of
hey.
us. You and me every night, aiming for the stars with the love so bright. You and me must do something right. Baby, I believe in us. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me, yeah. I believe in you and me, you and me, you and me, you and me,
A 3, 2, 1. Hello, beautiful people. It's Danielle here, and welcome to the Danae Show. Every time I say my name early. I'm supposed to say, hi, welcome to the Danae Show. It's Danielle Danae, aka Danae. But I don't know. Lately, I've just wanted to be saying my name before when I'm supposed to. But anyways, you guys know who I am. Danielle Danea, aka Danea, and welcome to the show. Okay? And today we are going to be talking about Dave Chappelle's stand-up monologue that he did for SNL for 2025. And I wanted to cover this earlier, but I saw it right when it came out. I'm a Dave Chappelle fan. I've seen enough of his content to be a fan. He is genuinely funny. A lot of comedians out here are just simply not. But I find him to be one of the rare ones that are actually very funny. But like I said, I wanted to cover this right when I saw it because it was so good. But he mentioned the LA fires that had just happened around here, and it was a very sensitive subject. So I was like, let me give it a day or two for everybody to cool down, to not be so fresh want to talk about it a little later when all the fires aren't affecting areas like they were. So yeah, and also just so much was happening in these last few days. I mean, with the presidential inauguration to TikTok getting banned and then coming back. So I was like, we'll cover this another day. But today is the day, guys. Today is the day, and it's going to be super interesting because I listened to this skit and I realized he was telling a lot of truths, but the thing is, when a comedian tells jokes, a lot of people don't necessarily know if they're 100% joking or not. The term, in every joke, there's a little bit of truth. There was a lot of truth in the stuff Dave Chappelle was saying. And I want to explain what is more so to be true, because some people may not know. But I happen to know because I live in Los Angeles. And, he spoke a lot about Hollywood in his stand-up. So I'm going to break down all the stuff he was saying and just give my opinion on it. So here we go. So in the stand-up, Dave Chappelle said that he initially didn't want to do an SNL stand-up monologue for 2025. They asked him. He was like, I don't know. Again, he also felt that it was a very close time to speak about or stand up or accept this job when it was so close to all the tragedies happening to LA. So he was like, I don't think I want to do this right now. It could be bad for my career. But eventually he said yes. And he said when he said yes, LA was upset. All LA was outraged, or most of it. Clearly I wasn't mad. Well, I didn't know about it until it premiered. But even if I had found out early on, it would just be like, no, because I like I said, I'm a fan of Dave Chappelle, and we still got to do our jobs. It's so crazy that so many people were mad that people were speaking out after the fires. If they weren't specifically talking about the fires in any post or any content they were promoting, they condemned them. They called them insensitive. They called them out of touch with reality. All these crazy names, So I was just like, what are you talking about? Like, yes, the fires were horrible. And a lot of people did speak out, but the people that are posting stuff that doesn't relate to the fires, they still have to work too. You know that, right? Just like you probably got up and went to work. But it's so easy to condemn and scream at somebody in the spotlight and to push it all on them when nobody knows who you are and you're just doing what you're doing in your own little bubble. I hate that. It's so annoying. But yeah, Dave Chappelle has a job to do. He's a very well-known comedian. This is a part of his job, doing stand-up monologues. So people, like I said, I say all the time, people just want something to be mad about all the time. But I could not be mad at this. And I'm so glad he did it because, like I said, he revealed a lot of truths. And when he said that a lot of LA people were upset, he also mentioned that, the same thing I mentioned, that when we were aware that these fires were happening in the Pacific Palisades and people did their research and realized this was more of a wealthy neighborhood. So a lot of celebrities, lived around there. A lot of people who made extreme amount of money, right? People were telling other people and saying in the media that they were glad celebrities got their house burned down. This is what you get for for being successful, basically. And it was just like, what the heck? And he was just like straight up, he was like, this is why I hate poor people. He said, this is why I hate poor people, because they can't see past their own pain, quote. And I thought that was such a truth in that statement. People that struggle, and struggle in all aspects of their life, not just with money. I always say, like, poor, there's a difference between being broke and being poor. Poor is like you're not, well, is it broke and poor? I don't know. One of them, broke is more like a mentality. Broke is like a mentality, whereas I won't say poor, Lord Jesus, poor and broke kind of go hand in hand. But not being able to pay your bills, and struggling, but like actually putting in work, that's a whole different other story. But most people that have a broke mentality, a poor mentality, are forever going to struggle because they don't see past them struggling. They don't see a plan. They don't put up, if they do have a plan, they don't put that plan into action. So yeah, it's that's why successful people typically hang around other successful people, not because they hate broke people. It's just because they really have nothing to talk about. There's nowhere to go from. It's not a diss to poor people, and there's people that don't make a lot of money, but they're hustlers. They're trying to figure it out. There's people like I mentioned the story about when Elon Musk was trying to figure out what he was going to do, and he gave all his money up to sleep on a couch. Like, there's people that are sleeping on other people's couches, that didn't give up millions of dollars, not like Elon, but there's similar scenarios where they give up all their money to sleep on a couch, and they're poor, and they're broke, but it's not their mentality. They're hustling. They're they made investments that they are pushing to get a return on. So it's completely different from being like poor and broke and not thinking about how you're going to progress, how you're going to make money back, and not doing investing or doing anything that could make you money, and then just not having any money and just sitting on your butt. Two different things, right? So he's talking about poor people with a poor mentality. So I think that's so true. They can't see past their own pain. It's so true. So, I thought it was crazy again when I saw people speaking about celebrities losing their house. Oh, they're rich. People were talking about Paris Hilton. I mentioned in my other show about how she has hotels. She has other houses. Again, you can't replace memories from that type of loss. I mean, rich or not. So let's have a little bit of grace, people. Let's be human. Let's be decent people here. So again, that was great. And it was also mentioned in the news that millions of dollars were lost due to these fires. And he did the comparison, if this was not a major city, if this fire happened in a less major city, the amount of land that was destroyed and stuff wouldn't equate to millions, but it's because it's Los Angeles, it's because it's LA County, California, that it was millions of dollars, because stuff is just 10 times more expensive here. So that was a good thing to throw in there and the people realize, because it's so funny in headlines, you see these numbers and you're like, millions, what? Oh my gosh, I couldn't even imagine, but it was devastating and it traveled far. But if that fire again happened in somewhere like Minnesota, it wouldn't have been millions. It would have been, he made a joke out of it. He said, I think like a few $100s to burn that down. And I thought that's funny. And someone's going to hound me for laughing at that. People are so sensitive nowadays. So it's funny how he broke it down. I thought, and it was facts again. So that was truth that was also shared by Dave Chappelle. And he was saying that he joked around saying that the people that got their houses burned down, God must hate them. If you're a conspiracy theorist or have a logical thinking mind, that idea must have come to your head. But he was also like, they must have not hated whoever. God must have not hated them that much, because hated people in Hollywood that much because they didn't burn down West Hollywood. And I thought it was funny because Hollywood is really where the root of all evil is. And anybody that's in there, I've seen it. I've experienced it on the outskirts. So I know people that are inside it know that's where the root really of all evil in Hollywood is in Hollywood, right? But West Hollywood didn't really suffer. I don't think even East Hollywood really suffered. North Hollywood, pardon me. So, it was interesting that, the wealthy outskirts of LA were affected more so than, the root of all evil. So I thought that was another funny joke. He was saying that Canada and Mexico also flew in people. The government flew in people to help put out the fires, which was really great. But the fact that they had to do that was crazy, because we in America, we should have enough, in LA, pardon me, we should have enough firefighters to put out these fires. I know it was big, but we should be prepared for these type of emergencies. But the fact that he called out Canada coming and Mexico helping was great. And then he made the joke that Donald Trump was like, in the moment you're done, y'all got to go back. Y'all got to because Donald Trump clearly is big on immigration and illegal. He doesn't want illegal immigrants coming here, and and taking our job, taking up Americans' jobs and stuff. All that. If you keep up with politics, So that was a funny joke to throw in there. And he also broke down, which I really appreciated, about the comment Trump made that Haitians were eating dogs and eating cats. He broke down what was actually going on, not to discredit President Donald Trump for saying that Haitians were eating dogs and cats. I'm pretty sure that was happening, but you know how people say things and it's like, oh, did he lie? No, but did he kind of bend the truth, make the truth a little more dramatic? Yes. So I appreciate Dave Chappelle breaking this down. He said what's actually happening in Springfield, Ohio, because I think he said he's from there. He said the government moved the Haitians in order to get jobs. They got moved there legally in order to hire them for jobs that people in the state, in the city, didn't want to take. And as far as Haitians eating dogs and cats, he went to a Haitian restaurant, and he ordered some food from there. And he's like, I don't know what kind of meat it was, but it fell off the bone, whatever it was. Hilarious. Like, it's so funny how people can take serious matters and turn them into jokes that are actually funny. The fact that he said he didn't know what he was eating. He's like, I don't know. It wasn't chicken, but I don't know if it was a cat. That was hilarious. So yeah, again, when you can throw politics in there and make it actually funny or it resonates with people, genius. So yeah, that was something that I thought was interesting because a lot of people didn't know that. I know I sure didn't. All I knew about was what was happening in Springfield is what I heard what Trump said about them eating the dogs and the cats. So again, great information to share in a funny way. He also said that was something that I hear a lot of celebrities say, that he said it's no longer fun being famous. He said it's actually scary to be famous. And trust me, I totally get it. You have to worry about things you say now to a level that you did not have to worry about them before. Again, people are so sensitive nowadays. And if you say something that people don't like or people take the wrong way, you could lose you're out of a job. There's so many, especially as a comedian. I remember there was a comedian that hosted, I think, one of the major shows we have, like the Golden Globes or something. He did something. He hosted it and made jokes. Super funny. But, some celebrities were like, oh, I don't like it because he was talking about celebrities that were there, roasting them. Super funny, but somebody was in their feelings and he never hosted another major event again. Not that I saw. And yeah, it was like, dang, this could be said 20 years ago. It's so crazy. In the 90s, in the early 2000s, people weren't that upset, but it's just like, people are all in their feelings now. And it's really scary, like he said, because you could lose your career like that. They'd be like, oh, nope, we can't hire you because you said this. So, yeah, and he said it's just scary to save face all the time. You could be going through some craziness in your life and you just gotta sit and smile through it. He was just like going through life. He was making this movement, just smiling like, oh, the world's burning, but I'm gonna continue to smile, because that's how you really gotta be. You can't let people see you down, see you frown. And it's tough, man. You think it would be easy sitting back in the background looking out. It's like your life's so great, you're making all this money, but more money, more problems. That quote is very true. And it's not just that you have more problems, you have way bigger problems because the world, again, is watching you. So it's like you don't have your own personal problems. You got to deal with problems with other people that other people have with you. So I thought that was so true, having to save face. And he was also mentioning like he would be when he was imitating him, like running through stuff, being happy, and stuff disasters happening behind him. He mentioned Diddy with the freak offs. He was like, "Oh dang, Diddy got." He was like, "Diddy got shot." Dang, and he just kept running and smiling. Hilarious. I mean, oh, it was just so funny. He's just so goofy. But yeah, I thought that was hilarious that he threw Diddy in there. But one thing he said that I absolutely didn't believe, that he said that he did not know about the freak offs at all, and he was even saying he was talking about a conversation he had with, I don't know, a friend or maybe a family member he had, and he was like, whenever he tells his friends that he didn't know about the Diddy party, they don't believe him. Well, I'm telling you, Dave Chappelle, I don't believe you either. There's no way. And Hollywood, like, I know you're not Hollywood. And he said like he loves LA, but he doesn't live here, I don't think. But you're in the space, right? Like, even I knew craziness was happening behind closed door, and I'm not even in the industry like that, right? You knew about it, but you probably didn't participate in it. So let's make that distinction right there. I could be wrong, but I'm just saying, I think you knew. I think you just didn't want it to be a bad look, because, if you say you know about it, people are going to assume you participated in some way or hid information in some way. But anyway, past that, it's so funny. He said he wasn't invited because he was ugly. He was like, dang. He was like, all these people knew about it, and I wasn't invited. I didn't know about it. The reason I didn't know about it because I was ugly. It was hilarious because I was just like, Dave Chappelle is not ugly. And when you're rich, ugly isn't really a factor. It's not really ever a factor. If you're making a certain amount of money, you can buy your seat at the table, guys. Oh, but again, funny joke. He said also the reason he probably wasn't invited because he gave snitch energy. He was like, look at my face. He was like, he said he was not the one, because if something was happening, he would have looked like what's going on and probably told somebody. And that's something he said that I think there was a lot of underlying truth. Like they said it as a joke, but yeah, the reason why I believe he knew about it but didn't partake in it, he was like, okay, I know these are happening, but don't tell me anything, don't show me anything, because I'm gonna want to tell somebody if I see something crazy. I think that's very true of him. I think he has a moral compass, he has a heart, he has a conscience, and he would have been like, if he actually saw what was happening, he would have told somebody or reported it. So I actually think that's very much true. Again, that he knew about it but didn't like see certain things. He didn't participate in certain things. So he willingly chose not to be a part of it, but knew about it. So I think that's what happened. But again, like I said, I could be wrong. He could have completely not known about it, and that's why he can joke about it and speak, and what he said was true. But like I said, it's a little fishy. It's just like, it's funny how everybody in Hollywood now doesn't know about these freak offs. All these people that were hanging out with Diddy know who Diddy was. Diddy was a big star. Everybody went mute, and it just seems like it's not like for these to happen, people had to be there, right? For a party to happen, there has to be a lot of people there, right? So somebody knew something. It's not possible nobody knew nothing, didn't know anything. So I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, the math ain't mathing. And then he told the story about former President Jimmy Carter, which I thought was really great, because if you didn't know, he just passed away recently, and all the past presidents attended his funeral, and the current president. And yeah, he was saying like a lot of people don't think he was the greatest president, And he was like, yeah, you know what? I don't know about that, but I'm going to tell you a story that really impacted me. So he told a story of when Jimmy Carter wanted to go to Palestine and be with the kids out there and be with the people. And Jimmy Carter got a lot of scrutiny from his team and was like, oh, if you go there, we're not going to be able to protect you like that. You're going to have to go with little security. You're basically going to be on your own. And Dave Chappelle said basically that he was like, Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter said, I'm going anyway. I got to go. I got to meet the people where they are. I got to be there. And he went anyway. Jimmy Carter went anyway. And there was all these pictures of him with the Palestinian people. And he was saying, when he went and saw those pictures, Dave Chappelle, when he saw the pictures of former President Jimmy Carter in Palestine with those people, he was amazed. His heart went out to him. He had so much respect for him. And quote, he said he's not sure about him being a good president, but he was sure about him being a great man, a good man. I don't know if he said great or good, but I thought that was interesting because there's so many people that condemn other people for other decisions they've done, or they only see the outskirts and they don't see what happens behind the scenes, right? Because it's not broadcasted. Like I said with Donald Trump, there's so much good that Donald Trump has done, but he doesn't go out and brag about it, right? He doesn't go on rants and be like, well, you know, I did this for y'all. Y'all mad at me for this. Well, look what I did here, there. They just do it. And that's the quality of a really good person, like Dave Chappelle said. That's the type of person you want to acknowledge and aspire to be like. That doesn't have to prove himself to be a good person. They just do it. They just do it. Because if you sit back and look at the people that try to prove they're a good person, you'll realize they got a lot of skeletons in the closet. It's like they gotta convince you guys that they're good because they don't believe it themselves. And they gotta extra convince you because, like I said, they're fighting a lie. They're fighting the truth, pardon me, of them being a horrible person. So I thought that was great. There's so many people, celebrities out there that are condemned for one mistake they made or a few mistakes they've made. And the good stuff they've done never gets highlighted like that. And these are people that, and it's crazy, the people that condemn, I'm telling you, have the biggest skeletons in the closet and are ugly people and have never met the people that they're condemning. Never seen them in the day of light. Now, there's some bad people, you don't have to meet them to know they're horrible people based on constant decisions. But I'm telling you, it's a few decisions compared to millions that they've done that they hound them to be bad people. So again, I love that he shared that because a lot of people don't like Jimmy Carter. They don't. Former President Jimmy Carter. And when his funeral happened, they were just like, so. So I love that he threw that in there. And then lastly, he mentioned about Donald Trump. And this is before their inauguration, clearly. Because this episode came out 3 days ago. He said, even if people voted for you or not, they're counting on you. He's speaking directly to Donald Trump because he was like, I know you watched the show. He's like, I know you watched SNL. I guess there was something Trump might have said that says he watched SNL. Maybe he's been on there. I don't know. I don't keep up with that stuff. But he was like, I know you're watching. Even if the people didn't vote for you, and a majority did, obviously, because you won. The people that didn't, they're counting on you, whether they say it or not. Because whether you want to believe it or not, he's running, or accept it or not, he's running our country. And you want our country to be the best it is because you're living here. So it'd be stupid to want to root for somebody who's on your team to fail, right? So I'm glad he said that. And, you know, it's crazy that watching the inauguration, people are still bent out of shape about President Trump now being in office. They're thinking he's going to do so much bad. And talking about, it's so funny. They equate stuff like the fires and TikTok being almost banned, all blaming Trump. This all happened before he even got officially in office. Just saying, they're like, oh, this bad stuff already happened. It's going to continue now that he's president. Oh my gosh. It's like, the delusion is wild. Again, the hate for this man, it's just like a switch that's been turned on and it can't be turned off. And I really hope for this year that people remove the cover off their eyes and look at what Trump has said, look at things he's actually doing for you people, look at your livelihood, see if it's actually improved. Again, it's too green to tell. I don't know if Trump's going to do everything he said he's going to do, but I'm hopeful. I'm positive about things. Just putting out negative output about something that hasn't even happened yet is just detrimental in itself. So just go into this year hoping, like Dave Chappelle said, counting on our president to do good, because you want good for yourself. You want good for your kids and their future kids eventually. But, he's only going to be president for 4 more years. It's going to impact years and years to come. So get out of your heads. Get out of your emotions. If you're one of those people that just hates Trump, just hates him, remove that hate out of your heart. There's no reason to hate this man. None. We need to count on him like we did the first 4 years he was in office. And even though he didn't do everything he said he was going to do, life was pretty good. You were still good. In 2016, I tell everybody, people like to forget that Donald Trump has been president before. And in 2016 to 2020, I didn't hear a lot of complaints, obviously until the pandemic hit. But that's when he was leaving. So I love that he threw that in there. And again, I know he's faced so much backlash. Because even in his whole skit, he was like, Donald Trump is a interesting guy. There was no blatant insults. And people, y'all know misery loves company. So if these miserable people that are yelling and mad at Trump and condemning him, all that stuff, if they don't have somebody they like, and a lot of people like Dave Chappelle, also condemning him and rooting for his demise, they're going to be like, what are you doing? You're not a part of our club? You're no longer invited to the cookout, man. What are you doing? I'm mad. I'm mad you're not mad with us. So I appreciate Dave Chappelle not saying, and you can see clearly that he disagreed with stuff. Clearly when he mentioned what actually happened with Haitians in Springfield, Ohio, he was like, oh, what are you talking about? Clearly you have some disagreements. Again, there are things I disagree with when it comes to Trump. But again, you got to look at the general consensus. And again, you want somebody who is running our office to win, whether you completely agree with someone or not. And to think that you should completely agree with any candidate is ridiculous. You don't completely agree with your family members. Why would you completely agree with a celebrity, with a president? You're not. But do your research. Look at everything this man has said. Look at everything this man has done. I promise you won't be as hateful toward this man. Because again, I've done my research and there's nothing I absolutely hate that this man has done. Again, disagree with, that doesn't mean you gotta hate him. Okay? And he ended with, which I thought was beautiful, the people that have suffered loss through the fires or suffered loss in general, you need to have empathy for them, whether they're in the Palisades or the Palestine. And I thought that was a great ending because he brought up Palestine, obviously, with the Jimmy Carter story. And then, you speak about the Palisades when it came to the fires. We lack so much empathy. It's crazy. The contradiction is crazy. We're so sensitive about things, but we lack empathy toward others. It's like the contradiction is crazy. It's like we're more riled up. We don't understand people that are more riled up about things. We don't show that we care. We're cold to those people who, have gone through loss. And it's crazy. Sometimes, super left, more so, these people that are on the super left, they're more empathetic to the people that are truly real like obsessive victims. They're not real victims, but they're screaming, yelling, doing all this other stuff, making it seem like they're a victim. They're like, oh, we'll feel bad for you. But a person who's lost their house that doesn't really speak about it, that makes one post saying, oh, my house is gone, it's like they're like, oh, well, that's what you get for being rich. But they'll have compassion for, a little girl that, grew up with both parents in her home, but, everybody's telling her she's going to be a star. She turns out not to be a star one day. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel so bad for you. Oh my gosh. Oh, you need a shoulder to cry on. Here you go. I get it. I get it, girl. It's like so much compassion for lunatics on social media apps, but not for actual victims. It's backwards. But back to, we as a people, man, we gotta be understanding, because we want somebody to be understanding to us, right? If you were genuinely going through something horrific, you would want somebody to care and be there and not be judgmental and be understanding. You're lying if you say otherwise to yourself. Yeah, this is a cold world. But be that person that is warm. Choose to be that person that is warm. It costs you nothing a day to show some kindness, some empathy. Takes you nothing. So, I love that he ended with that. Again, Dave Chappelle is just a great person. It's so funny. I actually, my boyfriend and I, we had an event in Houston, and we were staying at the Four Seasons in Houston, and Dave Chappelle was staying there. It was so funny. We didn't know this, but the people that were also attending our event said they saw him walking his dog or something like that. We were like, huh. And it's crazy. We didn't see him the whole time we were staying there. We stayed there the whole weekend. And it wasn't until we were leaving, I saw him. I don't know if my boyfriend saw him, but I saw him. He was sitting outside. I don't know if he was smoking a cigarette or smoking some weed, but he was smoking, and he was with a couple of friends. And I saw him, and I didn't say anything. I didn't say hi. I was too busy trying to pack our bags. We were trying to fit all our bags in our car. But he was going back in the hotel, and he like kind of waved at me, and I was just like, I just smiled back and waved. Like, it's so funny when I see celebrities anywhere, they'll feel like they have to say hi to me because they think they know me, but they don't. I've never met Dave Chappelle ever before this or seen him before this, but it's been a thing. With other celebrities I've ran into, they'll wave, don't know my name, probably never seen me ever before, but they'll say hi or give a compliment or something like that. So I thought that was cool. I think celebrities really are good at reading energies, and he probably read my energy and was like, okay, she's cool. She's not gonna come up and run to me for an autograph. Like, she's cool, so I'm gonna give her a little wave. And black people are just naturally very cool. Like, I love black people, but Dave Chappelle is a cool guy. I read energies very well too, and very cool. And this stand-up was just the right amount of comedy, just the right amount of truth, just the right amount of time. It wasn't super long. This comedy skit was only like 17 minutes, and I wrote down all these notes in like 17 minutes. So right to the point. Great ending, great beginning. I have no notes, no bad things to say. So shout out to Dave Chappelle, and again, show empathy to somebody today. It costs you nothing. And that's all I have to say about that, guys. Okay, like this video if you like this video. Comment always. I love to hear you guys' opinions, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye. Oh, come on.
Aquel día el instinto nos decía que esa noche juntico no quería, que las ganas bebé nos quemaría, pero no fue así. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a jugar. Ella sabe que quiero a mi mamacita. Ella también quiere que seamos felices. Ella, la que se apresura a la vueltica. Ella es sin timidez. Como la ves no le importa dónde y cuándo. Pero nada no es, yo no soy el que la mando. Nunca lo seré, su carácter no es de niña, que la puede controlar cualquiera. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Y me encanta, yo lo sé, independiente. Vamos lento y verás. Vamos lento, ya, que si nos apuramos no disfrutamos del momento, ya, y lo vamos a arruinar. Dale lento, ya, dile a tus amigas que hoy no vas para afuera, que estás en la escuela y vamos a los 7 días de la semana. Te doy de mañana y consejos sabes que no es. Te doy el desquite, que me quites todas esas ganas que te tengo mujer. Todo el mundo sabe que tú y yo somos más que panas, pero nos vamos lento, que el que se apura no llega a nada.